Thank you, Deputy Presiding Officer. Can I say first I think the Liberals should be congratulated on raising what is indeed an important debate. The issue under scrutiny today is whether the Government was right to reject a transition scheme, the consequence of which means that there is no cap of any kind whatsoever on the additional sums that many businesses, particularly in hospitality, may be expected to pay. The position as it stands is that, looking forward in England, a business has the certainty that no more than 12.5% will be hiked in any one year. But here, of course, as we have heard, it could be 50, 60, 70, 80, 90%, no limit. Now, helpfully, the Government has laid out its case against having such a transitional scheme today, and it appears to found on two bases. One, that we have a low poundage in Scotland, and secondly, if they move to a transitional scheme, it would involve some cross-subsidy. Let me deal with those two issues in the time available to me. The issue of a low poundage rate is not what matters to businesses. What matters to businesses is the bill that they have to pay. So can I draw the Chamber's attention to the fact that last year the Scottish Government was the first ever in the history of Scotland to collect over £2 billion from Scottish businesses. No other administration ever has taken £2 billion in rates income from Scottish businesses. And we should recall that that additional 5%, more than double the rate of inflation that they took from Scottish businesses last year, was, of course, when Scottish businesses were coping with recession and a 5% fall in the last 2 years in the national income of this country. So what is certainly clear, if you're taking the highest yield in cash ever, more than double the rate of inflation, this Government certainly had some headroom to cushion the blow for the worst affected if it wished to do so. The second issue that John Swinney defence he has given us today as to why he wasn't prepared to consider any sort of transitional scheme, and I concur with others, there is more than one variety of transitional scheme, but was that he is against the principle of cross-subsidy. Well, I frankly find that extraordinary, because his own small business bonus scheme is funded in part by a poundage supplement on all businesses that involves cross-subsidising small and large businesses, large and small. So I simply note that the cross-subsidy involved in the Government's own small business rates relief scheme has doubled under this Government from 0.3 pence to 0.7 pence. So it seems to me that the principle of cross-subsidy is sometimes accepted and on others not. Now, can I just say in the final minute remaining to me, it is the case, as others have pointed out, that the SNP's rhetoric of being local champions will ring a little hollow for every tourist business who knows that they have absolutely no protection whatsoever, that there is now a level playing field in Scotland tilted against us, and that is entirely of the Government's own making, and they should think again. But more fundamentally, beyond the election rhetoric, this episode tells Scotland something about the increasingly imperious style of government that we are being subjected to in Scotland. This Government claimed it would listen. It has been reduced to withholding data from Spice, failing to consult at all with the business community about this very big choice, and failing to bring the issue to this Parliament. That is what people will remember as they reflect on this episode, whatever side of the debate they end up on. Thank you, Presiding Officer.